Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever struggled with building lasting habits or breaking bad ones, you're not alone. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful books on personal growth, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book isn't just about setting goals, it's about transforming your identity and making small changes that can lead to massive results over time. Now, if you're tired of trying and failing with New Year's resolutions or feeling overwhelmed by big changes, don't worry. James Clear teaches us that small, consistent habits, the tiny things we do every day, can truly shape our lives. In this video, we'll be breaking down the 4 laws of behavior change, how to build good habits, how to break bad ones, and even how to create a mindset that supports long-term success. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of how habits work, how to implement them in your life, and how to change your identity to become the person you want to be. So, grab a notebook, get comfy, and let's get into it. 1. The science of habits. Habits are a powerful force in our lives, shaping how we behave, think, and even feel. James Clear defines habits as the small decisions we make and actions we take daily, which compound over time to produce significant outcomes. Understanding the science of habits is crucial for making intentional changes in our behavior. Let's dive into the underlying mechanics of habits, which Clear explores through concepts like the habit loop, cue routine reward, and the brain's reward system. The habit loop. The habit loop is the neurological pattern that governs every habit. It consists of 3 core components: cue, routine, and reward. These 3 elements work together to form a habit. Cue. This is the trigger that initiates the habit. It could be something external, like seeing a gym bag, or internal, feeling stressed. Routine. The behavior or action you take in response to the cue. This is the habit itself, such as exercising when you see your gym bag. Reward. The benefit or pleasure you get from completing the habit. It could be the endorphins released after a workout, or the sense of accomplishment from checking off a goal. This loop is repeated over time, reinforcing the behavior and making it automatic. The more you repeat this cycle, the stronger the habit becomes. The key insight here is that habits don't just happen. They are learned and reinforced through repetition and rewards. The brain uses the dopamine system to signal that a behavior is beneficial, reinforcing the habit. Habit formation. Habits are formed through a process called chunking. Essentially, the brain starts to group actions together in sequences. This allows us to perform complex behaviors, like driving a car, without needing to consciously think about each step. When we practice a behavior enough, it becomes automated, freeing up mental energy for other tasks. Clear emphasizes that the best way to build habits is through consistent small actions. Instead of trying to make drastic changes all at once, he suggests breaking down habits into small, manageable steps. The idea is that small actions, such as reading 1 page a day or doing 1 push-up, accumulate over time and eventually lead to significant results. The power of compounding. Clear explains that the compound effect of habits is like investing money. Small, consistent efforts lead to exponential growth. This is known as the aggregation of marginal gains. While any individual habit might seem trivial on its own, the cumulative effect of tiny improvements each day can create massive change. This is why successful people often emphasize the power of habits. They create a compounding effect that leads to long-term success. Clear uses the analogy of an airplane's flight path. A small change in direction at the beginning of a flight can drastically alter the destination. Similarly, even minor changes in daily habits can have a huge impact on the trajectory of your life. The role of environment. Another critical insight. Clear highlights is the role of environment in shaping habits. Your surroundings influence your behavior more than you might realize. For example, if your kitchen is stocked with junk food, you're more likely to eat it when you're hungry. On the other hand, if your kitchen is filled with healthy foods, you're more likely to eat well. Clear advocates for designing your environment in a way that makes good habits easier and bad habits harder to perform. The 4 laws of behavior change. In Atomic Habits, James Clear introduces the 4 laws of behavior change, which provide a simple and actionable framework for building good habits and breaking bad ones. These 4 laws are: First law, make it obvious. The first law in Clear's system is to make the habit obvious. This principle is based on the idea that our environment plays a significant role in shaping our habits. If we want to form a new habit, we need to make the cue for that habit as visible and obvious as possible. This law is about environmental design, actively creating cues that trigger the desired behavior. One of the most effective strategies for making a habit obvious is habit stacking. Habit stacking involves linking a new habit to an existing habit that you already do consistently. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, you could stack a new habit, like meditating for 2 minutes right after brushing your teeth. The existing habit, brushing your teeth, acts as the cue for the new behavior, meditation. Clear also recommends using implementation intentions to make your plans concrete and specific. Instead of saying, "I will work out," you should say, "I will work out at 7 a.m. in the living room." This leaves little room for ambiguity and increases the likelihood of following through. Visual cues are another important factor. For instance, if you want to drink more water, place a water bottle on your desk or by your bedside where you'll see it regularly. The more you see the cue, the more likely you are to perform the behavior. The idea here is that if you can make the cue for a desired habit obvious and present in your environment, you'll naturally start to act on it without much conscious effort. The more you expose yourself to the right cues, the easier it will be to take action. Second law, make it attractive. Clear's second law is to make the habit attractive. This law highlights the importance of motivation and reward in forming habits. Habits that are immediately rewarding are more likely to stick, while habits that feel like a chore or are unpleasant tend to be avoided. One of the strategies Clear discusses is temptation bundling, where you pair a habit you need to do with something you enjoy. For example, if you love watching Netflix but want to get more exercise, you could commit to only watching your favorite show while walking on the treadmill. This way, the enjoyable activity, watching Netflix, becomes linked with the desired behavior, exercise, making it more attractive and reinforcing the habit. Clear also emphasizes the importance of social reinforcement. People are social creatures, and we are often motivated by what others think of us. For example, sharing your progress with friends or joining a community of like-minded individuals can make the habit feel more rewarding. The social approval and encouragement you receive can reinforce the behavior and help you stay motivated. Another strategy is to make the behavior itself enjoyable. For example, if you want to develop a reading habit, choose books that genuinely interest you rather than forcing yourself to read something that feels like a chore. The more enjoyable you make the behavior, the more likely it is to become a sustainable habit. Third law, make it easy. The third law is to make the habit easy. Clear stresses that the key to building sustainable habits is reducing friction, making the desired behavior as simple and easy to do as possible. The easier a habit is, the more likely it will stick. One of the core principles here is the 2-minute rule. The idea is that when you're starting a new habit, you should make it so easy that it can be completed in 2 minutes or less. For example, instead of committing to an hour-long workout, Commit to doing just 2 minutes of exercise. This small action will build momentum and, over time, can evolve into longer, more complex habits. The key is that starting is often the hardest part, and if you can reduce the barrier to entry, the rest will follow. Another strategy Clear recommends is automation. If you want to eat healthier, set up automatic grocery deliveries that bring healthy foods to your doorstep. If you want to meditate more, use an app that sends you a reminder every day at the same time. Automation reduces the friction involved in starting a new habit. Clear also introduces the concept of habit tracking, keeping a visible record of your progress. Tracking habits can be highly motivating, as it provides instant feedback on your success and progress. For example, marking an X on a calendar every day you complete a habit creates a visual representation of your efforts and encourages you to keep the streak going. Ultimately, making habits easy is about removing obstacles and making the desired behavior as frictionless as possible. The simpler it is to start and maintain the habit, the more likely you are to stick with it. Fourth law, make it satisfying. The fourth and final law in James Clear's system is to make the habit satisfying. This law is based on the principle of immediate rewards. Clear explains that habits are more likely to stick when they are immediately satisfying, as the brain is wired to repeat behaviors that provide instant gratification. One of the most effective ways to make a habit satisfying is through rewarding yourself after completing a behavior. For example, after finishing a workout, you could treat yourself to a healthy smoothie or a relaxing activity like reading a book. This reward reinforces the habit and makes it more likely that you'll repeat the behavior. Clear also discusses habit tracking as a form of immediate satisfaction. By checking off a box on a calendar or using an app to track progress, you get instant visual feedback that reinforces the habit. The act of marking your success feels satisfying and makes you more likely to continue the behavior. Another strategy is to create accountability. When you involve other people in your habits, such as sharing your progress with friends or joining a group, it adds a layer of social satisfaction. We are often motivated by the desire to look good in front of others, so this form of external reward can be powerful. Clear emphasizes that making a habit satisfying doesn't necessarily mean rewarding yourself with something tangible. The feeling of accomplishment and progress can be a powerful reward in itself. Over time, the satisfaction of seeing your streak grow or achieving small milestones becomes intrinsically motivating. In conclusion, the fourth law, making habits satisfying, is about creating a system where the behavior itself feels rewarding, reinforcing the habit and making it easier to maintain in the long run. 3. The power of identity. 500 words. One of the most profound insights in Atomic Habits is the idea that lasting change comes not from focusing on goals, but from focusing on identity. Clear argues that the key to building good habits and breaking bad ones is to change the way you see yourself. Instead of trying to achieve a specific goal, you should aim to become the type of person who embodies the behavior you want to adopt. Identity-based habits. Clear contrasts two approaches to habit formation: the outcome-based approach and the identity-based approach. The outcome-based approach focuses on the results, e.g., I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to run a marathon. The identity-based approach, on the other hand, focuses on who you want to become, e.g., I am someone who eats healthy, or I am a runner. Clear argues that the outcome-based approach often fails because it focuses on external goals that are fleeting. Once the goal is achieved, there is little motivation to continue the behavior. The identity-based approach, however, is about transforming your sense of self. When you see yourself as the type of person who consistently engages in a behavior, you are more likely to stick with it because the behavior aligns with your identity. Small wins and self-image. The idea of small wins is central to building identity-based habits. By focusing on small, consistent actions that align with your desired identity, you gradually reinforce the person you want to become. Over time, these small wins accumulate and strengthen your self-image, making it easier to adopt and maintain the habits that align with your new identity. For example, if you want to become a fit person, don't just focus on the goal of losing weight. Instead, focus on the actions that reflect that identity, such as exercising regularly and eating healthy foods. Each time you engage in these behaviors, you reinforce the idea that you are a person who values fitness. This self-image becomes the driving force behind your habits, making them more sustainable and lasting. The role of beliefs. Clear also discusses the powerful connection between beliefs and habits. Our beliefs about ourselves shape our actions. If you believe that you are someone who always procrastinates, you're more likely to continue procrastinating. Conversely, if you believe that you are a productive person, you will take actions that align with that belief. Changing your self-identity is a gradual process, but it is one of the most powerful ways to create lasting behavior change. Instead of focusing on external outcomes, start focusing on who you want to become. This shift in mindset will lead to profound changes in your habits and behaviors. All right, that's a wrap on today's deep dive into atomic habits. I hope you found these insights useful and that you're feeling ready to apply the 4 laws of behavior change in your own life. Remember, habits don't just shape our actions, they shape who we are. And small changes over time can lead to big transformations. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And, of course, if you have any questions or want to share your thoughts on how you've implemented habits from the book, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and as always, take action, stay consistent, and remember, small habits, big results. See you in the next video.